everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I am Sana and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started. Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 30th of April 2022. Let's start. India has announced to set up the transmission interconnection for transfer of renewable power with which country? So India and Maldives are planning to set up a transmission interconnection for the transfer of renewable power between the two countries. Why? To facilitate the energy transition program of Maldives. Okay. So during the meeting between our Power Minister R.K. Singh, who is also the Minister of New and Renewable Energy, and his Maldives counterpart, the leaders have proposed two memorandum of understandings, one on energy cooperation and another on transmission interconnection under one sun, one world, one grid. Okay, so your correct answer would be Maldives. Now coming to the question slide, which state of India is leading in the solar energy generation? So in terms of generation of solar energy, the top state is Rajasthan, and then Rajasthan is further followed by Karnataka and then Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and together these three states accounts 50% of all the solar energy that is produced in India. India recently signed Memorandum of Understandings on the Nuclear Energy Partnership and the Global Innovation Partnership with which country? This country is UK, and aim is to jointly promote training and research on the radioactive applications, nuclear energy studies, nuclear safety and security issues. Okay. India has recently agreed to develop an alliance for the bioenergy and the biofuels with which country? This country is Brazil. And this was announced when Brazil Minister of Mines was on visit to India. And who is the Minister of Mines for Brazil? This is H.E. Mr. Bento. Fine. Which state topped the Niti Aayog's State Energy and the Climate Index Round 1? So in terms of larger states, the topper state was Gujarat, and then it was followed by Kerala and then Punjab. Okay. So this index basically ranks the states and the union territories based on their effort that they have put towards improving the energy consumption, energy access, safeguarding the environment, etc. Okay. And in terms of the smaller states, the top three states were Goa, first of all, then second is Tripura, and then third was Manipur. And in terms of union territory, I am writing it here. First in this category was Chandigarh, and then Chandigarh was followed by Delhi. And the bottom three states were Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. Okay. Which state has approved the Renewable Energy Policy 2022 to 27? So many a time we have seen this question, and this state is Karnataka. What is the aim? Basically in the next 5 years, state will have 10 gigawatt renewable power generation capacity, and by the year 2027, it will have a share of 1 gigawatt of energy produced from the rooftop solar alone. Okay, and also it wants to make the state hub for manufacturing of renewable energy equipment. Which company recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the Solar Energy Corporation of India? This is Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, and aim is to strengthen collaborations in the field of renewable energy, electric mobility, alternative fuels, and implementation of various renewable energy projects. Okay. Next question. Which Indian state has recently signed Memorandum of Understandings for the development of 7 ropeway project? So the government of Himachal Pradesh has signed these MOU for the development of 7 ropeway project, where in Kangra, Kullu, Chamba, Sirmaur and Bilaspur district of the state. And this MOU was signed between the Ropeways and Rapid Transport System Development Corporation HP Limited and the National Highways Logistic Management Limited for the development of these ropeways as innovative transport solution there in Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Now let's see some of the important projects that were in news. Flipkart has signed a memorandum of understanding with which state or union territory to train and support the local artisans, weavers and the handicraft makers. This state is West Bengal. Kerala signed a memorandum of understanding with which country for the Cosmos Malabaricus project? This is the Netherlands. Also don't forget that Netherlands is the host for 2022 Invictus game. Which major economy has signed an agreement on security cooperation with the Solomon Island? This is the China. And it was in news because concerns have been raised due to the transparency of this pact, and various countries are worried about the China's increasing influence in the areas. India signed a memorandum of understanding with which country to set up a virtual network center on quantum computing? This country is Finland. And also India has identified 3 top institutions for this project, which are these: IIT Madras, then second is IISER Pune, and third is CDAC Pune. Okay. Which country has signed a deal with Rwanda to relocate the asylum seeker? This is the country UK. State-owned NHPC signed a memorandum of understanding with which state for the development of green hydrogen? So in the field of green hydrogen, NHPC has signed this memorandum of understanding with the state Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Next question. What is the total export of finished steel from India in financial year 2022? So the Ministry of Steel recently announced that the country has exported 13.5 million tons of finished steel, which amounts to nearly 1 trillion rupees. And we have imported steel of around 46,000 crore rupees. And also India recorded an all-time steel high consumption at around 106 million tons and production at 120 million tons. Okay. So Government of India has launched production linked incentive scheme to produce the specialty steel in our country as well. Fine. Now coming to the question slide. Which institution released the draft guidelines for settlement of payments for export or import through e-commerce? This is Reserve Bank of India. Which country is the world's largest producer and exporter of palm oil? This is the country Indonesia. Now few days back we have talked about Egypt. Why it is important? Because Egypt is the world's largest importer of wheat. And it used to import the wheat from 2 countries, which are these: Ukraine and Russia. But obviously now due to Russia-Ukraine war, the production of wheat has been impacted, and now Egypt has decided to make India as their importer of wheat. Okay. Which milestone has been achieved by India's agricultural product export in the year 2021 to 22? Answer is $50 billion. As per the data from the Commerce Ministry, what was the India's merchandise export figure during 2021 to 22? So for this period, India's export was at $418 billion, while import were $610.2 billion. Okay. So overall trade gap is now $192.41 billion. Okay. So don't forget that trade deficit of India has increased by 87.5% for this time period. Okay. Which organization publishes the Export Preparedness Index? This report is prepared by Niti Aayog and it tells that which of the states or the union territories are prepared for their export in a better manner. Okay. So for this year, Gujarat has topped this index. At second, it was Maharashtra and then it was followed by Karnataka. Which Indian state or union territory exported its first ever consignment of the GI tagged carpet to the country Germany? So these carpet we have exported to Germany from Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. Next question. Which country provided Starstreak missiles and Stormer armored missile launchers to the Ukraine amidst the Russian attack? So the United Kingdom has recently provided Stormer armored missile launchers to Ukraine in a bid to stop the Russian army, which has begun a full-scale offensive in eastern Ukraine. So this missile can be mounted on these launchers to attack the aircraft. Okay. So the Starstreak missile has reportedly shot down a Russian attack helicopter recently. Fine. Now let's see some of the important missiles that were in news. Which is the first country to announce a ban on missile test against space satellite? Many a times we have talked about it. Answer is the country USA. Which country supplies S-400 air defense missile system to India? So we have bought this from Russia. Which country has successfully tested a new laser missile defense system called Iron Beam? This is from Israel. What type of missile is Helena, which was recently tested by the Defense Research and Development Organization? What does Helena stands for? It is actually helicopter launched Nag. Okay. It is a kind of air launched version of the Nag with extended range. And answer is anti-tank guided missile. Which country flight tested the ballistic missile called Shaheen 3? This missile is from Pakistan. And don't forget that recently we have accidentally fired a missile into Pakistan. Which country recently test fired the intercontinental ballistic missile named as Hwasong-17? This is the missile from North Korea. Okay. And apart from these questions, let's see some other important missiles. For example, first is the Caliber missile. It is from Russia. Second is Kinzhal. It also belongs to Russia. Then third is Khyber Buster. This missile belongs to the country Iran. Then don't forget that recently Bharat Dynamics has signed the contract with Indian Army to manufacture the Konkurs M anti-tank guided missiles for the Indian Army. Okay. Next question. Which country organizes Han Kuang Han Glory War Games? So Taiwan military forces recently announced a date for its Han Kuang War Game, and the commanders also insisted that the conflict in Ukraine would factor into the exercise. So these war games simulate defending their island from the Chinese attack, and over 23 million people of Taiwan live under constant threat of an invasion by China. Also, China had announced that this self-ruled democratic island to be part of its territory, and it is to be retaken one day by force if necessary. Okay. Now coming to the question slide. Which institution organized a national level workshop on the innovative agriculture? This is Niti Aayog. Which space company organized the first ever all-private crewed mission to visit the International Space Station? In the last lecture, we have covered it in a detailed manner. Answer is Axiom Space. Government of India organized an event to mark the 400 Prakash Guru Purab of Guru Tegh Bahadur in which city? So this event was organized in New Delhi. Which Indian armed force organizes the national level pollution response exercise called NatPolRex? It is Indian Coast Guard. Which institution organizes the National Cyber Security Incident Response Exercise, that is NCX India? It is National Security Council. Which state organized the National Judicial Conference on Mediation and the Information Technology? It has been organized at Gujarat. Okay. Next question. Which Indian state has announced to provide 900 rupees per month for the farmers for rearing the indigenous cow? So as per the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, now the state government will give 900 rupees per month for the farmers for rearing the indigenous cows to promote the natural farming. And another objective of this scheme is to deal with the problem of stray cattle, which has become an issue of concern for the farmers in Madhya Pradesh. So there are about 8.5 lakh stray cattle in the state according to the 20th livestock survey, and to support the natural farming, the state will appoint 5 workers in every block who will motivate the farmers to take up the natural farming. Fine. Can you tell me, cow tax plan is the initiative of which state? Do let me know in the comments. Now coming to the question slide. Now here we'll discuss some of the important indigenous products of India. Which organization manufactures the Light Combat Helicopter Limited Series Production, which is an indigenously developed combat helicopter? So it has been manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Which defense public sector undertaking has signed an agreement with the Airports Authority of India for the cooperative indigenous development of system? This is Bharat Electronics Limited. Dredging Corporation of India has partnered with which company to build the first indigenous dredger? So the first indigenous dredger of India would be constructed by Dredging Corporation of India in collaboration with Cochin Shipyard Limited. What is the name of the first indigenous drug to treat the COVID-19 being developed in India? So the name of such drug is Cov-19. What is the name of India's first indigenous flying trainer? Answer is Hans NG. What is the name of the first indigenously developed microprocessor of India? So the first microprocessor of India that has been developed indigenously is Shakti. Fine. Can you tell me what is Pravega? It was in news also these days. Do let me know in the comments. Next question. Which country is the host of the 21st World Congress of Accountants in 2022? So Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is set to host the 21st World Congress of Accountants for the very first time in 118 years of its existence. So this is held every 4 years since it was started in 1904. So this event will be held in November 2022 in the newly built Geo World Convention Center in Mumbai. So about 6,000 top accountants from 130 countries will participate in this program directly, and over 10,000 will join virtually. And the theme of this event would be Building Trust, Enabling Sustainability. Okay. Now coming to the question slide, here we'll see some of the important hosts and conferences. Which city is the host of the Global Ayush Investment and Innovation Summit 2022? This is Gandhinagar in the state of Gujarat. Which city is the host of Smart Cities Smart Urbanization Conference? So S for Smart and S for Surat. Which country is the host of the 2022 edition of the Invictus game? Just I told you, this is the Netherlands. Okay. So this game was started in the year 2014 in London, and now the next edition, that is 2023 edition, would be held in Germany. Which country is the host of International Water Week Water Convention 2022? Answer is Singapore. And when do we observe the World Water Day? It is observed on 22nd of March, and the theme for 2022 is groundwater, making the invisible visible. Fine. Which Indian state is the host of the FIH Hockey Men's World Cup 2023? So the host for this event would be Odisha. Which country is the host of FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in 2022? This is India. Fine. Next question. World Immunization Week is observed every year in which month? So the World Health Organization organizes the World Immunization Week between 24th to 30th of April every year, and as per the World Health Organization, increasing awareness about the vaccines and closing immunization gaps would protect millions of people worldwide from the vaccine preventable diseases. Okay. So after global efforts, there were just 6 cases of polio caused by the wild polio virus in 2021. So correct answer would be April month. Fine. Let's see some of the important days. When is the World Homeopathy Day observed every year? So this is observed on 10th of April, and for this year theme was People's Choice for Wellness. When is the International Day for Mine Awareness observed annually? It is observed on 4th of April. On which day is the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery and the Transatlantic Slave Trade observed? It is observed on 25th of March. On which day is the World Consumer Rights Day observed across the world? So we celebrate the World Consumer Rights Day on 15th of March, and for this year theme was Fair Digital Finance. When is the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery observed? It is observed on 25th of March. Fine. Next question. Under section 144 of Code of Criminal Procedure CRPC 1973, who is authorized to issue orders to prevent the danger or nuisance? So recently what happened is the administration of Uttarakhand's Haridwar district have recently imposed prohibitory orders under section 144 of the CRPC 1973, and Supreme Court had asked the Uttarakhand government to ensure no untoward situation or unacceptable statements during a Maha Panchayat that was planned by Hindu religious leaders. And this section empowers a district magistrate, a subdivisional magistrate, or any other executive magistrate empowered by the state government to issue orders to prevent apprehended danger or nuisance. Okay, so correct answer would be district magistrate. Now let's see some of the questions regarding Supreme Court. The Supreme Court directed which institution not to exclude the candidates with color blindness from its courses? So now those students who have a problem of color blindness, they can also join FTII, means Film and Television Institute of India. Ketanji Brown Jackson, who was seen in the news recently, is the first black woman justice to serve in the Supreme Court of which country? So Ketanji Brown Jackson is the first black woman justice to serve in the Supreme Court of USA. As per a recent Supreme Court order, which institution has the power to tax the lotteries organized by other state? Answer is the state government. The Supreme Court has scrapped the gender gap on performers in the orchestra bars in which state recently? So recently Supreme Court has asked the Maharashtra state government to remove this limit on the performers in orchestra bars because Supreme Court finds it to be the violation of the fundamental rights. Aisha Malik became the first ever woman judge of the Supreme Court of which country? So I think in the month of December or January, Aisha Malik became the first ever woman judge of Supreme Court of Pakistan. Who is the head of the Supreme Court appointed inquiry committee to probe the Prime Minister security breach? So during the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Punjab, some security issues were raised, and for this inquiry committee, the head would be Justice Indu Malhotra. Okay, so they will suggest some measures to save our constitutional functionaries. Okay. Next question. Who has been appointed as the new chairperson of NASSCOM? NASSCOM stands for the National Association of Software and Services Companies. So recently it has announced the appointment of Krishnan Ramanujam as its chairperson for 2022 to 23. And currently he is serving as the president at Tata Consultancy Services and vice chairman of NASSCOM. So he succeeds Rekha M. Menon, chairperson and senior MD of Accenture in India. Also don't forget that Anant Maheshwari, who is the president of Microsoft India, has been appointed as NASSCOM vice chairperson for 2022 to 23. Fine. Now let's see some of the important appointments. Who was recently appointed as the new chairman of Air India? So finally, the new chairman of Air India is N. Chandrasekaran. Who was recently named as Oil India Limited's new chairman and managing director? This is Mr. Ranjit Rath. Who was appointed to represent the National Financial Reporting Authority as its chairman? So now the new chairman of NFRA is Mr. Ajay Bhushan Pandey. Who was appointed as the chairman of National Assessment and Accreditation Council? Answer is Bhushan Patwardhan. Okay. Who has been appointed as the chairman of the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India? This is Mr. Debashish Panda. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked this session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again on Monday with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.